Hi everyone, it's Ginny. This time I'm going to be working on decorating this case that my daughter gave me quite a while ago. Been wanting to do it for ages. So to start with, I've been playing around with what I actually want to do with it, and I've decided I want to use these gorgeous vintage girls that Josie gave me. And obviously that one's too big and those are a bit too small, so I decided to go with this girl here. She's really pretty, and I want her on the top, and I want to do napkins in the background. And I played around with those that I have, and I looked at these, but when I put them on I decided they were too pale, so I'm going to go with this Paris one. I've got other napkins, but I only have like one of each type, so it wouldn't be enough, so I've had to go with napkins I already have, that I have quite a lot of. So I'm going to have to go with this Paris one. So I'm planning to roughly have that as the background, put the girl on here somewhere and decorate around her a little bit. I don't want it too dimensional because it'll get sort of bumped and knocked around a bit with me using the case, because I plan to, well, I already keep laces and things in there. So yeah, I've taken ages just playing around with bits and pieces and seeing what would work, and I think that it's probably going to have to be the best thing. So I'm going to start with putting some gesso on here, and then a light cream coloured paint to go underneath the napkins. Then I'll decoupage them on top, and then I'll decorate with the girl and a few bits and pieces. So I'll move all this out of the way. Just flowers and things I've been playing around with that I thought might work. There's a bit of some green something on there that shouldn't be there. Don't know what that is. I've been looking at tags maybe to hang off the handle. Some wooden tags, some butterflies. I don't really know. I suppose I'll see when I get there. But to start with, I'm going to begin with the gesso and the paint, which I'll most likely speed through this because it's pretty boring. Alright, so I need, what do I need? I need my gesso, my brush and water. I don't know where the brush is. Where's the brush? This place is a bit topsy-turvy at the moment. Alright, let's start on the back. And I'll get on with it. Oh. Gesso is settled, it needs to be stirred up. Obviously a bit old. This is going to be alright. Should just give it a good shake, but there's dry bits on the edge. I don't want to fall in there. Hopefully that'll be alright. Okay, the gesso's done, so now I'm going to paint it with this acrylic paint which is called Antique White. So it's kind of a creamy colour. So I'm just going to do that. Okay, that's all dry now, and to save time I've cut up some napkins. I've torn them up into different pieces, and I've sort of placed them about on the top how I'd like them to go, roughly. I'll put my girl there. So what I'm going to do is start gluing them on. So rather than just having one flat sheet, I didn't want that. I wanted a little bit varied. So I'm using this Decoupage glue that my daughter got for me, and I've tried it once before on some paper beads that I made, and even though it says on here that it can be used as a sealer, you know, and as a finish as well as a glue, it's really sticky. And I thought maybe that was because it wasn't dry, but I left it for a whole week and it was still really sticky to the touch. So that's why I ended up buying that spray varnish sealer, which I'm going to do over the top of this because I don't want it to be sticky. It's not good. So, oops, just choosing a brush. I will start gluing this on, sort of roughly. And yeah, the paint is still really streaky. Even I did 2 coats, and in the end I just thought, oh well, oops, that's how it is, so just leave it like that. Oops, I'm having wrinkle problems already. Actually, I might do this. I watched Shamee Dixon do her vintage suitcase, and she gave the great tip about using the plastic wrap to flatten things out, so I'm going to be doing that. It's good. Yeah, it's going to bubble up a little bit and be funny, which I don't mind if it's not, you know, perfectly flat and even, but I don't want it too wrinkly and ugly either. Just wondering how the light's going. I might go and switch the, oh dear, go and switch the room light on. Back in a sec. Alright, so I want sort of this here so that when I put her on, she's next to the Eiffel Tower. It's a really cold, wintry day, and even despite having the heater on, I still have to wear my sleeve and glove because my pain is pretty intense at the moment. It's always worse when in the cold. I'd love to live up north where it's warmer most of the year round, but I'm not about to make a huge upheaval. And plus we'd be moving away from the kids and I can't see them following us, so it's not going to happen. At least it's not as cold as up in the northern hemisphere. I need to be grateful for that. Don't think I'd be able to survive the extreme colds that you get up there with the snow and everything. Oh, it hurts me just thinking about it. So what do I have to tell you? I got some good news about my hubby. Is that he had his test where they put the endoscope down and had a look through his stomach at his pancreas, and he got the results back for that, and the doctor have given him the all clear that they didn't find anything nasty, which they were looking for signs of cancer, but they said everything's fine. So I guess what they called the freckles that they picked up on a previous scanner turned out to be nothing but perhaps a little bit of, I don't know what. I don't know how to describe it. Just something that's a bit abnormal but isn't a problem. What shall I put on next? This like this. So yeah, he's still got his unusual hernia, which has settled down a bit and isn't appearing as large as it was originally, and so the doctors are saying, look, there's no urgency in getting the surgery done as long as it's not giving him a lot of pain, which it isn't. He says it twinges every now and then, but it's nothing major that he can't handle. So they've decided to put put the surgery off for now, and they'll review him again. I can't remember if they said 4 or 6 months, and see how he's going. And they said if it gets really bad, in the meantime he can just come back into the emergency department, and they'll assess him then, and if it needs to be done they'll do surgery then. So that's really good. I don't like that there. Let's move this. I suppose she's going to be over the top anyway, isn't she? So yeah, that's good news about him. And it stopped all that worry that he went through, which is great. Because you don't want to be worried sick about what's going to happen all the time. Even that in itself, you know, interferes with your health if you're stressed and worried about something. Yeah. Not much else has been happening here really. It's been quiet. We've been staying indoors because it's been so cold. And I really need to get out in the garden and get some things done, but it's just way too cold, so it can wait. We are supposed to be having a little bit of a warmer day this coming weekend. I think on Saturday. My hubby said it might be a bit better. So I might get out there and just sort out what needs doing. And then I'll get hubby and my son to help me, because there's pruning that needs to be done up high. Got some climbing roses that need, they've gone crazy. They're like a wild jungle. They really need to be cut back hard. And I've got one plant that's actually fallen over. But it doesn't matter, it needs to be cut back down to the ground anyway, so I'm not too worried about it. It's alright how it is at the moment. This is bubbling up a bit wrinkly. And it says, if I follow the instructions on here, it says to, you know, go over the top with the glue, but yeah, it doesn't look all that great. Hang that off the edge there. Not too far because of that little clasp. Try this. And it's still wrinkly. I'm having problems with my desktop computer at the moment. It's slowed right down, and I think I've said before, hubby and I have been meaning for ages to do backup and sort it out in case it crashes. So we were just talking before that probably what my hubby will do will just wipe everything off and upgrade my computer to Windows 7, which will be awesome because because I'm still running on XP, so it'll be a bit faster then, and I'll have a better version of the movie maker that I use, which is Vegas, which already is very good, but if I have it running on Windows 7 it'll be a lot better. There'll be a lot more things that I'm able to do with it. Oh, I should have put that down with the plastic, shouldn't I? It's just making it worse. Alright, yeah, but the problem with taking stuff off my desktop and then putting Windows 7 on and sorting everything out, backing everything up, my hubby said it's going to take probably about a week for him to do everything, which means I won't be able to upload videos during that time, because I do all of that on my desktop. My laptop doesn't have the programs or the capability. So if I stop uploading for a little while, you'll know that that's why, that I'm sorting my husband's sorting my computer out for me. And hopefully after that it'll be better and it won't crash. I'm really getting scared now that it's going to crash, because it's been ages that we've been saying, oh, we must do backup, we must sort things out, and we keep saying how important it is and how it needs to be done, and then we just don't do it. There's always something else to be done instead. So we're going to have to force ourselves to, or I'll have to force my hubby into doing it for me. He's great with all that stuff. If I didn't have him, I'd be completely lost. I wouldn't know. Even if something goes wrong with the computer, I wouldn't know what to do, and I wouldn't know who to ask to help me either. And my sons are okay, but they don't know as much as my hubby does. And plus, you know, they've got their own lives and they're busy, and I can't be calling on them all the time to come and fix my computer. So fingers crossed hubby's around for a long time to help me. Yep, do the plastic. This is getting a bit sticky. That's wrinkled. Oh well. How's that looking? A bit crazy. Roses going in all directions. But I like it. I think it'll turn out alright. I was thinking about having that there. I might put the word on later. Do that around the edge. What else do I have? This one. I guess maybe this glue is not meant for using with napkins, because if you had better decoupage paper, it would probably work out alright and not bubble. I noticed when Shami did her vintage suitcase, it didn't look like she put glue over the top. She just put it underneath, put them down, and then smoothed them out with the plastic over the top. So she's obviously a bit more experienced than I am. But I've glued napkins down before with different glues and they haven't gone as wrinkly as that. Maybe it's this glue. Alright, well, just tear that. So I don't want it going over the edge. As it is, the paint's made it a little bit more difficult to open and close. So I need to keep anything else from going in there, making it thicker, and then it won't close properly or it'll get stuck and won't open easily. I'll just do that with my finger, that's alright. Yeah. Okay, be a little bit so I've only got big pieces now. I need to tear up a bit more. Thinking really hard what I can tell you, but I can't really tell you much. My volunteer visitor is going well. We haven't done a lot of walking because the weather's just been too horrible, but we sit and chat and that's really nice. Yesterday we were talking about books and reading and which authors we like, and she's actually lent me a book to read which is really good. It's by an author called Nora Roberts. I've not read her stuff before. I've heard of her. I've only read the first 2 chapters of it so far, but it's pretty good. It's called The Obsession. And so far it's a little bit creepy, but it's not really like full-on horror or anything. It's just about so far a young girl who is awake one night because it's really hot and she can't sleep, and she's looking out the window and she happens to see her father sneak out of the house and into the woods with a torch, and it's close to her birthday and she thinks maybe he's got a bike for her that he's fixing, because she really wants a bike, and so she follows him. She goes outside and follows him, and anyway she finds out that he's actually not the nice person she thought he was, and he's done something really horrible. I won't tell you in case you might want to read it. And she finds out about it and goes to the police about it, and that's where I'm up to at the moment, that she's at the police. So yeah, it's one of those books that you can't put down. You just want to know what happens next. You want to keep going. So I'm enjoying that. So far so good. And I've lent her one of my books as well. I really like John Steinbeck, and so I've lent her one of those books, which is The Grapes of Wrath. We say wrath, you say wrath. It's an excellent book. I love it. I have to say it's probably my all-time favourite book. I've read it so many times. And yeah, I just love it. It's about, you know, during the Depression, and a family lose their farm, which is their livelihood, and they travel on the road, as many people did during that time, and headed towards California, which was supposed to be the promised land where there was plenty of work and fruit orchards, and it's kind of like a paradise for them, and some very, very sad things happen to them along the way, and even when they get there. It's a very, very good story. Beautifully written. He's such a great author. He wrote a lot of really good books. So that's what I've been doing. It's doing work alright. Am I still recording? Yeah. Sometimes it switches off and I don't hear it beeping. Sorry, I'm just drinking. What else? I'm not sure if I want to do the entire thing or not. I might have some sort of painted areas bare. I'm not sure. Might sort of continue that maybe or not. What about if I put this along here? I think that would look good. What else have I done? Oh, I went shopping with my daughter. I think I told you that, didn't I? Yeah, because I did a video haul with stuff I got. That was really nice. I haven't been out in such a long time. It was nice spending some time with my daughter and looking around the shops. Something I miss. I can't do it all the time. I used to love shopping. I think most people do, most women do in particular. Just put a little strip here. Maybe, oh no. Changed my mind. Let's have a bit of writing. I did hear it beep then. What about this down here? To tear the edges, because I've seen other people say that, you know, it works better if you do that and you don't get the ugly straight lines. The pieces blend together better. Oh, this glue, very sticky, even when it's wet. Right, I might try drying this off, see how it goes. Yeah, I think I'll dry it and then I can flip it over and do the other side. So I'll come back when it's dried.